let's stand with the guillotine first, because what you're going to find that when you do the standing guillotine, especially with no arm in, that it's going to be the same thing that you want on the ground. Okay, so can I use your nominate for this?
Take notes, please.
So let's turn this way. Okay, so what I want everybody to see is any time that you're doing a guillotine, am I going to finish this guillotine? No, why?
You put your arm.
What's that?
You got the lead.
Yeah, what's the main connection that I need? Elbow to hip. This is your connection every single time. Whether you're on the ground, whether you're in the mount, whether you're in side control, whether you're in the feet. So if you have to hit this guillotine from the feet, it's not so much of how much arm you pull through, okay? What I'm going to try to do with this one is make sure, and everybody kind of like do this, put your hand here to bend the arm. But now I want you to close your arm on your fingers. You feel how tight that gets? I want that right here on the side of the neck. So one of the things that people tend to do when they're doing the guillotine is they actually pull their arm through, too far through, and they get the bicep on the neck on this side. Then they get a giant space right here where the arm is bent, and that why are they tapping? It's like, well, because they're not going out. What we want to do is we want to make sure that we get that clamp right here on the side, like the carotide's going to be somewhere where my thumb is right here, and I want to be squashing that area, okay? To get the best grip on this, and also to prevent the takedown. So this is important, right? When we do this on the ground, and we roll to whatever guillotine we're going to roll to, we're going to trap on that side, we end up here in this position. It also keeps that person trapped on that side of the body. If I just grab the guillotine like this, on the feet, I can guarantee that he's immediately going to go to the opposite side leg to get cross body, pick this up, and then now I'm actually not getting a guillotine anymore. You might want to start thinking about wrestling or repassing the head of that position, because you're not going to get the guillotine. Okay? So what I want to do is, if you grab this from the feet, immediately I want to change my hips. And it's going to put my hip in the right position to be able to get to this elbow position, right? So if I start here like this, again, my arm is pretty loose. I do this. Do everybody see how I pull my loose arm down and I get that flat part right in the neck? Then when I squeeze it, it's really tight. Here's the other switch. I start with chin grip, and we're going to switch the opposite side hip in here. But you see how I put my opposite side hip? Now for the leg that he wants to get to, he ain't getting to it. I start pulling my hands up just a little bit here, and it does not take very much to get that finish if you do it right. If you know what a pair of vice grips are, if you work on anything, that's essentially what we want with this. Right? You kind of like, you screw that thing, you get it close, you want to really get a good bite on that thing when you finally go to close it. The more I position this, the better. Okay? Loose arm, I start with my chin grip. When I switch my hip, I take this hand and I always call this guillotine grip. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull my hand down and across to take the slack out of the loose arm. This. Now when you close that and bring it down to the hip, it's very tight. This is how I want you to really work on getting this from the feet, okay? If you feel like you're muscling it, or better yet, you grab it, you go, you start pulling like this, you're not going to get it, okay? You should have very little arch, if any, in the back, especially when people aren't trying to, defend too much, okay? So, whatever, I get a snap down and I get my chin grip first, right? Boom, I get chin grip. The next thing I'm going to do is this. Look, I'm going to switch my hip. Immediately, look, I pull my hand down and away so I can get this nice and tight. Now I squeeze and I pull this thing up here, and it gets very tight very fast. If they keep trying to move in this direction towards this leg, we keep this stance. Okay, we're here and here like this. He needs to get to this leg. I can just keep turning and keeping that leg away from him from that position. Okay? You'll notice when you do go in, you'll probably be here like this. So right away when you grab, let's say I go front headlock grip. Next thing I switch, loose arm, I pull this down, and now I get my grip. Right here is very tight. Tight? That's the one you want. So if you notice, you don't see me squeezing and going crazy. If you feel like you have to pull more than half of your strength, stop and fix it. Okay, the whole idea with getting these good is making it so you're getting a good squeeze without having to muscle the hell out of it. Okay? Just think about it. The person's kind of like letting you get the neck. If you can't finish it with the minimum amount of squeeze, you're never going to finish it when the person's lying, shrugging their shoulders up, trying to move, trying to prevent. So make sure that you're practicing that point when you're going with the group. Can we start with this? Alright, grab a bunch of people to work with. Let's get some chokes in. 3, 2, 1, go.
Alright.